Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back. Today we have a fun, interesting video. I've got my energy drink ready. I've got my gel ready to go, and we're going to be diving into my Sparkle & Co. sub bag. However, I want to issue a warning. This is a pedicure video. This is your feet warning. If you do not like feet, press pause, abandon ship. All right, let's get into it. So let's just break the ice and introduce these little piggies. Here are my feet. So I went ahead and prepped my nails by just shaping up and trimming my cuticles. I did nip the end of my big toe a little bit, so that's why it's red. What I'm going to be doing is just kind of folding and rolling up this towel and placing my toes on the towel so that I can capture the tutorial. So just a heads up, that's how we're going to throw it down. I'm going to be using my Sparkle & Co. gel base, fitting because it's a Sparkle & Co. gel polish, and then my Emily No Wipe top coat. This is the Sparkle & Co. sub bag. I have the Itty Bitty Subscritty for $13.99. But they range all the way up to almost $100 a month, depending on what kind of sub bag you want. So I will link that information down below. I believe they still have the referral credit going on. So if you mention my name, Amber Riley, as a referral on checkout, then you get a credit, I get a credit. So check that out. So here are the colors I got in the bag this month, and one of them is a tiger eye or cat eye color. So it came with a magnet, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. You know what, these sub bags, they're kind of hit or miss. Some months you get colors that are maybe not your jam, but I like it because it kind of breaks me out of my shell and I get to try new things. This month I was very pleasantly surprised. So we have these two colors. We have here Eye of the Storm. It's a sparkly tiger eye, and then Lightning Flash, which is this gorgeous dark glittery goodness. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Even the swatch just didn't do it justice. So here is what the bottles look like. They put the color on the cap for you to tell. I am part of the gel subscription. They also do dip subscriptions. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First, we're going to apply the gel base coat. I'm using the Sparkle & Co. gel base. I figured since we're using Sparkle & Co. gels, we might as well go with the gel base. I do have a lot of different gel products that I use here on my channel, but really enjoy Sparkle & Co. Very high quality products at a really good price point, great customer service, and they constantly give you tons of like freebies and extras. So I really enjoy supporting them with my business because they're just a good company with good quality products. If you subscribe to a subscription, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you subscribe to, what you like, what you use, and why, and I might check it out. So here I'm just applying the base coat directly onto my natural nails. This is my typical process. I don't really go in with a pH prep or dehydrator often. Typically, by the time these start to lift, I'm ready to change to a new mani anyway. But of course, make sure you follow your preferred method of prep. Like I said, mine is just going directly in on my natural nails. So you want to keep your coat medium to thin. If you get too thick, especially on toenails, they can kind of bubble up and look like little jelly beans. Here we're going to movie magic, but we're going to do a full 60-second cure. I'm not going to make you sit here for the entire minute and watch my lamp cure my polish though. So here we are with that base coat complete and cured. And our first step is done. Now, if you do get a little heavy-handed and you get some spillage, you might want a little orange wood stick or cuticle stick nearby just to kind of clean up your sidewalls. I always forget, and then I use my fingernail, which is not the best method. So we're going to go in and we're going to use Lightning Strike on 4 of the 5 nails because I wanted to go ahead and use the tiger eye color and show you guys how to apply that with the little magnet. But how pretty is this color? My goodness. I'm keeping my layers pretty thin. Like I said, I don't want it to go too thick and just add too much structure, add too much polish to my nail. with my toenails, I don't need a whole lot of added strength. And so when they do get too thick, like I was mentioning before, they kind of bubble up and look like a little jelly bean. So we want to keep our polished layers thin. And when we cure, if we need to go back on with a second coat, which you'll see I end up doing on this color, then we can always do that. So you notice I skipped my middle toe there, and I already know I'm already preparing for the comments of my long finger-like toes. Listen, we keep it real on my channel. This is what my feet look like. These are feet. These are my feet. So if anybody has any hate on my toes, feel free. I have learned to let the comments just roll off anyway. So we also notice here that I have hair on my toes. I'm going to address that here in a minute as well. But on my channel, we keep things real. We keep things natural. I don't hide what my body looks like. These are what feet look like. Feet have hair on them. So here we go. I'm just finishing up this first layer, going back in and just adding a little bit more to these toes here just to get a little bit of that color payoff or the opacity that I'm looking for. And when everything looks good, I'm going to put that away and switch to the next color. So this one is the tiger eye or the cat eye, however you want to call it. It was called Eye of the Storm. Now you will only be able to get these colors if you are a subscriber. However, this month has already been sent out, but if you do subscribe, what you're going to be able to do is go back in and purchase these colors at a discount later on. So if you do subscribe to next month's bag, you'll still be able to go back in and get these colors and pick them up at the subscriber discount as well. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that color on this one with the tiger eye. I only wanted to end up doing one pass, so I am doing a thicker amount just to make sure that I really get the color payoff, the opacity that I'm looking for. So I am going in a little more heavy-handed than I typically would, and that's only because I'm going to be using the magnet, so it's really kind of a one or done. So what you can do is, if you plan to do 2 coats, is do a lighter first coat without the magnet, and then go back in and use the magnet on your second coat. But what I'm doing is using the smaller side since I'm using my toe here. And then I'm just creating that line by going back and forth over the same area for about 10 to 15 seconds. These tiger eye gels are really, really cool. I like that you can do something kind of snazzy, but it's very easy for a beginner. So check them out if you like this kind of style. Here we're going to cure for a full 60 seconds, and we movie magicked that yet again. And here we are with that first coat. So like I mentioned before, I decided that I needed a little bit better color payoff. So I am going to go in with a second coat of Lightning Strike. And you can see as soon as I put the second coat on what a good decision that was. It really just brings out, fills in some of those areas that weren't as deep in color as I would like. And then it really brings out the darkness and the beautiful, like almost black. It's super, super, super dark charcoal, almost black with these gorgeous silver reflective glitters that are just going 100 different directions all at once. It really is just breathtaking. It's beautiful. So now that I have that second coat where I want it, we're going to go ahead and flash back to the lamp. We're going to do a full 60-second cure. And then here we have both colors, both coats done and complete. So back onto the little towel here, propping it up. And now we're going to go in with this Emily No Wipe top coat. This is an Amazon brand. I use them a lot. I really like their products. You can find them linked in my description box below. I link them in every video because they're so popular. But especially this top coat, it's so gorgeous. It's easy to use. The bottle never gets gummed up or sticky on me. It always applies like a champ. It's always perfectly just glossy and gorgeous. Doesn't chip on me, doesn't crack on me. And it's cheap. I mean, you really cannot beat this. So hashtag not sponsored, just obsessed. So here I am, same process, just keeping the layers kind of thin, just wiping it down from cuticle to tip, as you've seen me do now lots of times. I'm just kind of supporting each toe as I go. and then covering the little pinky here. And we're almost done. I love these gel Pedis. Honestly, they last me longer than my toenails last me. So they'll just sit and grow out and grow out and grow out, which I actually really love. So here we did another 60-second cure. Now we are good to go. Everything is finalized, dried and hardened with that top coat. And this is kind of our final product. Let me zoom in so you can see these beauties. How gorgeous are those colors? You can kind of see the tiger eye on that little silver toe there. Not as good on camera, picking up that reflective little detail, but honestly, the little toenail is so tiny. It's hard to see it. But here we have both feet completely done. And we're going to move into the final step, which is cleanup. So let's talk about hair removal. Like I was talking about earlier, everybody has hair on their body. Hair on your toes or your feet is a totally normal and natural thing. Usually I'll just kind of shave when I'm shaving my legs, but sometimes a traditional razor is just too big, especially for your little toes or my little toes. And so using this little electric shaver really helps. I use it on facial hair. I use it on my toes. I even have hair on kind of in between my knuckles on my fingers there. I'll use this to kind of clean those up. Just little hard to reach or gentle areas. This works really, really well. So not enough people, I don't feel like anyway, represent this kind of stuff. So I'm not shy. I have no problem showing you what I use to clean up my little hairy toes. I am blessed with beautiful, long, dark, thick hair. But part of that is having dark, thick hair everywhere on my body. So there it is. And that's what I use. So here we're using just a 100-180 double-sided file. I'm using the thinner side, which I tend to do on all of my nails because it's a bit more gentle. I didn't have a whole lot of cleaning up on my toes. I didn't have a lot that spilled into my walls, and so I really didn't have to file a whole lot. On this one, I had a little bit that I'm going to clean up here. But I tend to try to stay away from filing unless I absolutely have to. You want to keep the integrity and kind of the seal that happens when you bond your base to your gel to your top coat. And when you file that, you break that seal and it can cause lifting even sooner. But if you do, my kind of rule of thumb is I stay away from filing the tip or the edge, and I will only really file in the sidewalls if I get spillage, like I do on this nail here. So I wanted to include this so you can kind of see a little bit of real life cleanup when I did have a little bit of spillage into the sidewalls. And then I'm just using a little brush to clean up any powder that comes off. So that's it. That's the final cleanup. We are almost to the end of this Pedi. I really hope you guys enjoyed this type of tutorial. I've gotten a couple of requests for pedicure, so here we are. And then this is an optional step. I tend to do this as much as I can. It's good self-care. It's good for your skin. It's just putting some cuticle oil on my cuticles, my toes, and then my skin. Now would be a really great time to scrub the bottom of your feet with loofah or a pumice stone. Give yourself a little massage. Make sure you give yourself some good self-care. Take care of yourself. It is very important. So here's both feet completely done. I absolutely loved how this Pedi came out. I appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next one.